people are connecting with us on LinkedIn as well.
Sure, sure, definitely. Great.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session on AI tools for business leaders and its practical applications. At Skillame, we have been closely working with organizations on helping teams and leaders move beyond just AI awareness and towards practical adoption, where AI becomes a part of day-to-day decision making, productivity, communication, and execution. Today's session has been designed in a simple and highly practical 2020 format, where we will look at the current AI tool landscape for leaders, practical business use cases, and how leaders can drive real adoption and implementation within teams. The objective is not to discuss AI theoretically, but to help leaders understand which tools matter, where they fit in daily work, and how they can create measurable impact. We are delighted to have with us Mr. Vipin Vijay, so will be leading the session for us. He's an AI thought leader, enterprise strategist, and a global enablement architect. Vipin brings over 10 years of experience at Core.ai, where he has been architecting enterprise AI strategies and leading global enablement initiatives. He has worked with over 100 plus enterprises on AI transformation journeys and has enabled global partners including TCS, Accenture, Deloitte, Genpact, and many more. So his expertise spans across generative AI, agentic AI, prompt engineering, AI adoption for business teams, workflow automation, and productivity enablement. We are excited to have him with us today to share practical insights from real-world enterprise implementations. So that's it from me. Over to you, Vipin.
Thanks, Patel. Thanks, folks, and thank you for spending 1 hour on a weekday between maybe your office hours to upskill yourself. And my only request will be, please don't switch on this webinar and then do your work listening to it in the background. I'll be, as Patel mentioned, I'll be practically explaining to you about what are the things that you can do in your day-to-day life to implement it end to end. So predominantly, this is what I've split the session into. Yeah. So, predominantly on a high level, how the the module goes in an ideal world wherein we have a master class, another like a 3 day master class schedule to dive deep into everything end to end. But we don't have that time. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give you a crux of what we do in that 3 day master class. So this is what we do. So predominantly we start off with basics of what is AI. It's again, ChatGPT is not AI anymore. A lot of other things are basically happening. So that is one. And then we look at what is prompt engineering. And also there's a new concept called context engineering, which is like the elder brother of prompt engineering. That's also something that we're going to touch base on. And then these are the certain different aspects within your day-to-day life that you can actually implement currently. And towards the end we can also discuss about the practical use of it within your enterprise as well. Like some enterprises will not allow AI to come into their ecosystem, etc. That is when we can discuss on how to work around that as well, and many other aspects. Now similar to that, content generation, workflow automation, no code development, ideation and brainstorming, data analysis, and a couple of other things will also be on a high level touch based on if the time permits. um, I I'll just keep the module. Generally, I'd like to keep this interactive, but I'll just keep the module, stricter. So we'll reserve the questions to the end. Please put it in the chat box, and we'll answer it maybe around at the 40 minutes mark. So we have another 35 minutes left. In 35 minutes, I'll try to cover the crux of everything. So this is us. So we, why AI business value and what is it that you have to do or you can do currently to basically implement it in your day-to-day life effectively and efficiently is what we are going to look at. Uh, the all the hypes of Gen AI. There are a limited number of people who actually know what Gen AI is. They feel Gen AI is ChatGPT, but to put it very very simply, Gen AI is nothing but you can give multi-model input, and by multi-model you can give inputs as a text, image, audio, voice, Excel file. You can send a voice note. You can send a upload a hum, and then that Google translates what song it is, right? So everything which you can, any kind of input that you can give, and it generates different kinds of output. So that is generative AI. Multi-model input, you can input it into anything, any system, including, let's say, ChatGPT, and it can give you multi-model output also. Then the output is also not restricted to just text, right? It can give you text, but also it can give you codes, images, videos, music, websites, applications, anything that you want. It can actually generate and give it to you. So that is what a generative AI is, giving in a multi-model input, it analyzing and synthesizing it based on its own training, and then it generating a multi-model output. So without going into too much details, actually, I'll basically skip over all these technical things. That's takes too much time. And these are some real world examples for text and content generation. We have tools like ChatGPT and Jasper. So Jasper is nothing but another very powerful tool. You go into a website and you can just type in whatever you need in the entire website. It's like asking question to that entire website. A very, very powerful tool. Image creation, you might already be aware of DALI. It's in ChatGPT, but similar to that we have Nano Banana. Similar to that we have Grok's image, etc., etc. All those predominant LLM specific image generation is something that you might be familiar with. Other than that, there are a lot of other image generations like Midjourney. There is a couple of other tools that we'll be kind of talking about in our today's session. And then when it comes to audio and music building, there are tools like Suno and 11 Labs. 11 Labs is the pioneer, or 11 Labs is basically the chat GPT of the audio world, wherein you can think of it like with it, you can do, think of it like you see in films and all, right? They tap into a phone call and they isolate the background noise, and then they see, okay, there is a bell chiming, it must be near a church or something. That level of thing is available to you right now in your laptop for free. So there's about 10,000 credits it actually gives you. So that's available for free, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Similar to that, you can deploy end-to-end AI agents on 11 Labs who can call your prospective customers or call your customers who have already had a service and asked for feedback or customer service. And this is not just a scripted call, it is empathetic, voice modulated, natural language call. They can even call and ask anything. And if the customer or the prospect say something like anything, and these bots will not default and say, sorry, I can't help you with that. They will answer that no matter what. It's just like their expertise is in one area, but other than that, they also have general intelligence which they can answer any kind of answers, essentially speaking, within the scope of that conversation. Why is this generative AI important? Any industry, any vertical that you take, you cannot and will not, and take it as an open challenge kind of thing. You will not find any area wherein AI has not yet touched. Think of something as a brick and mortar. The word brick and mortar comes from this, wherein you have to kind of build the buildings with brick and mortar. You see in China building skyscrapers in 7 days or something. Even right now in India also, and many other countries, there is Maiwan construction, which uses AI to place the blocks perfectly. So it's not 100% replacement of human beings, but AI has actually come in and replaced a lot of things that's actually happening. So any industry, any vertical that you can think of, AI is already there and it is taking over a lot of jobs. And now flip it to the IT industry, where most of us would be joining in from. In IT industry also, many things that we do on a day-to-day life can be enhanced, made efficient, made faster using AI. Think of it, to put it simply, if you want to do a research for generating a PPT, you would spend maybe 3-4 hours doing the research and 3-4 hours building a PPT. But so let's say 1 day to 2 day for normal intelligent people, or maybe a week for someone to get a very powerful end-to-end researched PowerPoint presentation. But AI can do it within maybe 15 to 20 seconds. Let's give it 5 minutes. So within 5 minutes, it can build an end-to-end, highly researched, 100 plus source researched, very powerfully organized, professionally built, end-to-end PowerPoint presentation. And this is not just a basic PowerPoint presentation. This is an end-to-end research with citation PowerPoint presentation. Similarly, data analysis. So if you have thousands of lines or 20 different sheets with thousands, tens and thousands of lines of numbers where you want to crunch the number. Think of it like Power BI. Finance folks use Power BI to do this. But right now with AI, and Power BI requires a little bit of technical knowledge, and there's a little bit of learning curve to actually building or utilizing Power BI. But what these AI systems do is you just have to upload the data and it will end to end very, very powerfully give you any kind of result. And it's not like you have to set it within the limits of what it has or what the capability of Power BI is. You can ask it anything. You can ask it things like, crunch the entire number and just give me the profit number or loss number, or predict the future numbers based on the past historical data, etc., etc., and it will do that. And here also it will write code and analyze and give you the output. You don't have to write code, one, and two, you just have to talk in natural language. It'll give a natural language output, and so on and so forth. Again, it's limitless. Any function that you can go off, you will be able to find it. And this is the stark reality. And right now, it has projected that by 2030, about 40 to 60% of all drivings will be AI driven. 20 to 30% of all doctors will be, all doctors the things that doctors are doing will be AI augmented, and about 10 to 20% of surgeries will be AI driven. And I recently saw a post wherein Apple virtual headset was used to actually do an eye cornea transplant, and there were people logging in from all around the world to actually see that. That's the future. And if the coding and creative economy is essentially the most affected, wherein about 50 to 70% is what they assume it's going to be lost to AI. Then think of it like teachers and lawyers. Right now in India also there's a pilot program wherein they have built a system which you input the crime details, etc., etc. They'll give a focused output on what should be the punishment that fits the crime. So it has the historical data of the last 100 years of Indian judicial system, and it also has the Indian laws, etc., etc. It has trained on that. Now the only thing is, if someone has committed, let's say, thievery, and other metrics also will be added on top of that, then they'll say, I don't know, fine or whatever is as per this thing. So similar to that, again, now teachers, something that I when I read it, is like very interesting. So right now, and most of us have had teachers who is one teacher to 40, 50, 60 students. The future is going to be like every student will have their own AI teacher, in which, based on their specific acumen, their knowledge, their what they want to do in the future. I mean, obviously they won't know what they want to do, but there would be tests in which they are good at certain things. Those curated course will be given to them. Obviously there will be a baseline foundation course given, but curated powerful AI teachers will be there to perfectly mold kids into exactly what they want, or how they want, or rather how their parents want, and so on and so forth. So that's the projected impact of AI, and it is very real, and it's high time we act on this. Now, going ahead, any talk of generative AI is incomplete without the talk of prompt engineering. Now, so for people who knows prompt engineering, great. For people who doesn't, prompt engineering is nothing but the art of talking to AI systems. Think of it like a 10-year-old kid, a very, very intelligent, very capable 10-year-old kid. So you're asking it, let's say, for example, I wanted to do a research. So you can't go to this 10-year-old kid and say, hi, 10-year-old kid, do a research on, unemployment, AI replacing jobs, etc., in India. That's great, and it will do a research and come back. But what you earn, or what your objective is, not that. Your objective is maybe to find a product that you can build to market to alleviate that, or to utilize on this AI uptrend. So what you have to do is you have to make sure AI understand your objective, as well as from what perspective should it think from when you're giving this prompt. The prompt is nothing but the input that you're giving to AI system. And for that, one foolproof method is this concept called craft. Craft is nothing but, whenever think of anything that you want to talk to AI, formalize it in this perspective. C is the context. Say, hi AI, or ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever. I am a, let's say, content creator, or I'm an educator. I want you to do a research on how AI is replacing human jobs and how I can curate content in such a way that these, the people can help with the help of AI improve and upskill in their day-to-day life in such a way that they become irreplaceable. So that's the context. Role is act as an expert, statistician, mathematician, as well as an expert, educator in this particular area, so that you can also research as well as you can understand what perspective I'm coming from. Now the action is do this research, and I want the output. You can do this research, but I want the output in a crisp, actionable term. Plus, I want all the citations also mentioned. The format could be anything. Now you can also say I want it in an I don't know, a PowerPoint presentation, more, etc. It will give you that, but predominantly the Word document is the best for us to read. And then the target is, so this is for me as a content creator to generate content based on the market research, so that I can talk to people about the, what are the things they can do to overcome this AI job loss, essentially speaking. So this is the end-to-end craft network. Now think of it like, just thinking it from an HR use case. They are creating a senior developer job description. So they can directly go to ChatGPT and say, "Hi, ChatGPT, give me a senior director job description." Yes, it will give you a senior director job description, but the quality of the output will be extremely limited. But you can say this, that is, we are a fast growing fintech startup, act as a technical recruiter, draft a comprehensive job description, use headers and bullets and bold text, target senior Python developers, maintain unbiased and inclusive tone, and you can also give it a link to your company. Also, this is the company. Add a couple of lines on the company culture as well. Now generate the PowerPoint. Now generate the the output. Now you can see how the difference between the earlier what they might have created and now what they might have created. So that's the that's the difference. So I'll also show you a demo on the chat gpt, but that's how you yourself can see the drastic difference between the earlier generic senior developer output as compared to the new, more focused, most apt to what you want kind of output. And along with that, no conversation of prompting is complete without advanced prompting techniques. These are some of the techniques that you, once you start talking to AI systems, you will by default do it. Temperature is nothing but, you're telling AI to be a bit more creative, or you're telling AI to be a bit more restrictive. If you're writing codes or something, you don't want it to be creative, right? Then you want it to be very restrictive. So then you will put the temperature as low, and if you put the temperature as high, that means you want it to be more creative. It is not too much relevant, so you may or may not want to use it now, but these two things are very relevant. System prompts are nothing but the thing that we just discussed, the craft framework. You're telling it by default, or putting it into their mind, that I want you to think from this perspective, this output, this format, this tone, and this context, and then give me an output. That is system prompt. Prompt chaining is the right opposite of this. That is, you're initially going in and saying, give me a software developer job description. You got the software developer job description. Then you are going in and saying, think that you are a fast growing SaaS startup, this is the link to my company, now modulate it as per this. Then it will modulate and come back. Then you're going and saying, I want it in headings, bullet points, etc., etc. Then it'll do that, and so on and so forth. So system prompt is nothing but you're giving its instruction starting itself. Prompt chaining is nothing but you're keep on reiterating the output that it is basically given. I know that's much of a theory, but just bear with me for maybe two more slides, and then we'll go into ChatGPT. Then comes zero or few shot prompting. So this is along with what we did earlier, the craft framework. You can also give it examples. For example, if you're drafting an email, you can say, see, look from this email, this is the tone, this is how I talk. Similar to this, I want you to give you an output. So that is exactly what shot is. Zero shot is you're not giving it any example. One shot is you're giving it one example. Few shot is you're giving it a couple of examples, so that it can learn the pattern and it can give you the output correspondingly. These are all methods to personalize the output, so that it doesn't feel too much AI centric. It will feel a bit more generic, natural language centric. And yeah, I'm just gonna skip over all of these things. This master prompt not needed. Okay, cool. So what I can do is, in the interest of time, I'm not gonna go deep into ChatGPT, but what I will do is, let me. Okay, where is the okay? I will show you some tips of what or how you can make your ChatGPT more efficient. And I have no idea why this is. Yeah, okay. Uh, okay, I'm regularly using this, but for some reason it's logged me out. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. So in ChatGPT, all of us knows many things that we do. So I'm not going to touch base on the basics. I'm just going to give you some tips on how to make ChatGPT way better. If you're not using these, please use this. Whenever you're talking to ChatGPT on anything strategic or anything serious enough, for example, you're asking it about, a disease that you want, or disease that you want to research about, or you're asking something about something that requires strategic thinking, one extra level of thinking, switch on the thinking mode. What it will do is, generally ChatGPT uses maybe 5 seconds to think. Thinking mode uses somewhere around 10 to 15 seconds to think. So the output will be way more refined. Then deep research is nothing but it will look at 200 to 300 different sources and give you an output. Like the research that I kind of mentioned earlier, right? That deep research on end to end, you know, the market landscape, essentially speaking, that is when this deep research will come into picture. And then so just focus on thinking, and deep research is only very limited, so you can do it maybe once or twice a month. You just reserve that for very very powerful things, or very very in-depth, or very uh, you know thing that you want once or twice a month itself. But thinking is almost very free, so click on that to get a very powerful output. And then comes Canvas. So Canvas is nothing but whatever output you ask it to give, it will give it to you in a separate format. Like for example, AI landscape in 10 bullet points. Very vague. I just want kind of an output to come in. So this is the the, what do you call, the Canva mode, wherein I can go ahead and edit this in such a way that the main problem of ChatGPT and other LLMs is, if you want to make any changes, you have to either go back to this and say and change that, or you have to uh, you know uh, download it and then copy paste it into somewhere else, wherein a lot of hyphens will come, a lot of what was that some apostrophe, etc., a lot of other things will come. And for some reason this is not generated properly, but you understand this. So this is wherein we have a separate page opened up, and now what I can do is I can just go here and edit fundamental countries like OpenAI, and then I want Google. So I'm just gonna click on Google here, and then I want maybe only one more company, that is Meta. That's it. And then I delete everything. That's it. Here, as you can see, it was something, whatever, some errors has come in here, wherein I have edited it. And similarly, you can do a lot of things. Plus, now you can copy it there, or you can share it as a link to anyone that you want, or you can download it as a PDF or a Markdown document also. Or if you want to do any further editing, you can just type it here in the bottom left hand side corner, it will edit here. Or if you want to do other things like make it longer, make it more simpler to read, harder to read, harder as in more verbose, you can do it here. And if you want to add more emojis or polish it, etc., you can do it here. So Canvas inside ChatGPT is also one of the most underrated but very powerful functionality. Another very important setting is go to settings and then go to personalization. right there. Inside personalization, this is what you can do. So you can do all these things. The first thing that you want to do is select what you want. By default, it is whatever you say, it will come in and say, yes, yes, you're the best. Even if I say sun rises in the west, it will say, yes, sun rises in the west, absolutely. But there are some people who say sun rises in the east also. So those kind of things is what ChatGPT does. But you want it to be very, want to question you. You don't just want a yes or no sir guy. So that is when you select its character, make its character. One is you make this. So I made it in such a way that it's very, up to the point. And second is you make it less enthusiastic, whatever it is that you want, you can do it. And emojis, absolutely, that's like gone are the times wherein we want emojis in the output. Right now, if there is any emoji, people can understand it's AI and they don't give value to it. Even algorithms also don't give value to it if it has too much emojis and more headers and listers, etc. So that is one part of characteristics that you can do. Second part is custom instructions that you can type in and it will act accordingly. And the third part is this other set of instructions that you can give. For example, I have given it things like add TLDR, too long didn't read, so that whenever there's a major topic, give me a condensed view of that. And then no M dashes, eliminate filler hyphens, call to action. And it's very simple. You can also say no M dashes in any output. And it will stop from having any kind of M dashes. And of course, switch on the memory. And another major thing is do not let it save the data. Go to here and switch off the model so that people don't use it. Essentially, LLM don't use your data to train train its backend system. That's about it. A very high level on what ChatGPT can do. Let me go back to the presentation. Um, yeah, so that's about what ChatGPT can do. So let me, what else? So we have, I will spend maybe another 10 minutes on some of the other key tools, and then we will open it for question and answers. Similar to this, yeah. So then, similar to ChatGPT, there are a lot of other LLMs like Microsoft Copilot is there. Anthropic, right now, um, right now the world has moved in such a way that Claude, which is nowhere in the picture anywhere, has become very, very powerful. So this is when I was just having a word with Patel just before this session, wherein I was saying no AI or no good AI is free AI. So Claude is one of that AI which I would highly recommend you to take. So in case you are using only free versions and your company also doesn't have any paid version, I highly recommend that you take at least one paid AI subscription. The tool that I would most recommend is the tool called Claude. The Claude, uh, I actually have a masterclass on Claude, but other than that, Claude is one of the most powerful AI right now in the ecosystem. Uh, Anything that ChatGPT can do, plus way more, but more from a professional standard. It can build PowerPoint presentations and Word documents, and it can build end-to-end custom dashboards. It can connect through MCPs through to anything. So, for example, if you're, let's assume you're doing a job search, you can connect Claude to a connector called API and Vibe Prospecting, wherein what it will do is it will connect through those websites, and then it can scrape the entire internet and give you an output which is very in a dashboard format or in an Excel format, whatever you want, relevant to your profile. So you upload your resume and you just tell Claude. So I'll just show you a quick what sorry a quick gist of what this is. This is my Claude, and what I've recently done this thing on. So this is what it can do. Um, I'll just take this as an example. And for example, I wanted it to do just a job research, random research, and this is what it gave me. Let me open one of the. Mm, I mean, I was not planning on showing this, so I didn't keep a bookmark of this. Yeah, so this is one such thing that it has actually generated. I just gave it some basic prompt saying, so I want you to, so some basic things like your job is this, and I want like the craft framework, something a little more different. And this is what it has given me. It has given me active job postings. with the conviction score based on my resume. It's here, it swept all my target companies. It has given me remote job openings currently available in the places where they accept, from my perspective, Indians as a, or not necessarily required to be in that particular region. And then it has given me hiring signals, that is pre companies that are got at funding and they want to kind of hire from your perspective, and outbound pipeline in which you have to proactively reach out to these people because they are the heads of the departments wherein you would want to make them hire you. And then signals, this dashboard didn't come up perfectly. I had to rewrite the code on this, but not the code, the prompt on this, and the summary of what and all it did. All these things it gave based on the prompt that I've given. And again, this prompt is also something that I generated it through Claude itself. But understand this is very, very powerful for jobs with either pay headhunters or people take Naukri premium and all those things, which is good in a way, but it's like very restrictive. But this guy, I'll also show you the connectors that is there. So this guy currently connects to Indeed, Dice, Apollo, Lucia, and AP5 iProspecting. Many tools are also there. I don't know why it's not showing, but you understand this. All these tools, it will actually, all these connectors, it will actually use to build you an end-to-end dashboard of current job opportunities right now in the market, which is very relevant to you. And again, not just random jobs, or if you're into sales and if it has the word sales, it won't bring you that. It will go into the job description and look at the relevant things and come back and give you the high conviction score. That's as powerful. So this is one of the most powerful tools in right now, and it's absolutely worth it to take the paid version of this. And then comes Gemini. So Gemini thinks like this is there. So if you click on Ask Gemini in your browser itself, guy will come in here and you can ask it any questions, explain what's on the screen, or you can ask it generic questions like build me a Excel sheet with the below data, or do a deep research on certain things. Anything that you want, you can just ask. It will do that. So this particular thing is a browser assistant, but exclusively also you can, like ChatGPT, you can go to Gemini and do everything end to end. And another tool is Notebook LM. In the interest of time, I'll just skip it, but just look at Notebook LM, a very powerful free tool, especially for students and for people who are doing in-depth research on any topic, PhD professors, or for project managers to do deep research, or even for sales people. I mean, the use cases are infinite depending on how you use it. So it will give you source grounded output, in such a way that LLMs hallucinate. You're asking it to give you some kind of output. It will go to internet and give you some other kind of output. But what Notebook LM does, it will kind of, you are giving itself the sources only through which it will research and give you an output, and it can even generate PowerPoint presentations, Word documents, many other things on that. I'll just keep it short, but it's a very, very powerful tool. Please go ahead and use that. Now, similar to that, a lot of other tools are there. Now, when it comes to writing and communication, there is a tool called WriteSonic or ChatSonic. The free version is limited, but still very good. If you're anywhere in marketing, slash content writing, this is the tool to be. It gives you powerful AI generated SEO, search engine optimized, GEO, generative engine optimized, powerful content wherein you can make it in your own tone also. If you have written a couple of LinkedIn posts or something, copy paste that into WriteSonic. It will understand what tone you talk, and then depending on your tone, it will generate the entire document. So in that, WriteSonic is your setting certain presets, and ChatSonic is your chatting to the AI and giving an output. Net the output is the same. It's the way that you communicate to it. Again, very powerful tool. We all know Grammarly. So Grammarly just checks your grammar wherever you go. Just install it as a plugin. Wherever you go inside email, etc., etc., it will come in and check the grammar. And I'll skip over a lot of things. Yes. So Vengage and Napkin.ai, both of them are visual infographics generator. They are nothing but I know I'm like talking too fast, but I just want to kind of show you that these tools exist out there, and just maybe take a note of that, or probably you'll get the recording of this as well. Use this tool in specific functionalities. Now, Vengage and Napkin.ai is nothing but, so if you're building a powerful presentation and you are stuck with 5 bullet points and you want to make that bullet points look interesting, that is when you go to Venngage or Napkin AI, wherein you make it. So, for example, it will kind of bring you an output like this, wherein it will organize it in such a way that the logos will also be relevant and also the organization will also be super relevant. Similarly, Napkin also will do that. Now, Venngage, other than that, it has a lot of PowerPoint templates, it has a lot of infographics, posters, whatever you want. Think of it from a pre-built template that you want, you will also find it there. Even a resume, whatever you want, you will be able to find it there. Now comes Yodlee. So if you are bad at communication or if you're very good at communication also, Yodlee is the tool that you use. It gives you 5 free analytics wherein you upload your the way you talk, or you just take a presentation and share your screen and do the presentation for maybe 10 minutes. And what Yodlee will do is Yodlee will help analyze your speech, the thing that people charge 100 to $500 in the. It analyzes your speech and gives you your positives, your negatives, your filler words, what should be improved, what is already working, the conversational pace, the a lot of things that you talk about, which is good and which is bad also, and it basically coaches you. So this is one session. After that, it will give you assignments on learn this and then come back and do the second session, etc., etc. So it's basically a communications coach which is available to you for free. And other two more tools that I would use is Mem.ai is a powerful note taker, not a note taker, but so saving any notes and all, you can do it through Mem.ai. So think of it like Google Keep or something wherein we just randomly put our thoughts there. But Mem has a AI brain in it wherein assume you have 200 random notes that you have already saved over the last 1 year. You can just go to this AI assistant and ask it any questions. This is not searching, it's actually contextual understanding. For example, you have 200 nodes and you have maybe 4 nodes on traveling related. So you just ask it, what are all the places that I want to travel? So it's like your second brain, but you have the information in the nodes. So it will contextually understand that. Even if you have not tagged it also, it will understand the name of the places. It will come back and say, these are the places that you want to visit, and now and this is the best time to visit, etc., etc. All those relevant information it kind of populate and give you. And then let me see. Reddit answers is anything from a trend analysis perspective. Reddit answer or Grok also. Reddit answers do is an AI engine on top of Reddit reviews. Grok is an AI engine on top of X. Anything that you want to think of from a trend analysis, like which is the best stocks to buy also in a way, but also when is the war going to stop, or when the petroleum price increases, or coronavirus vaccine, or whatever it is that you want to talk about, you will understand the people's mindset about all of those things inside this. So just go to Reddit answers or Grok and type your prompt. It will give you crowdsourced information. And what else? So I talked about the tool, right? Power BI's replacement. So that is this Julius AI. It's a very powerful AI and data analyst wherein you upload your data here. It will give you, it will write its own code and give you a graphical representation of any data that you basically give it in. And any talk about AI will not be complete without the mention of the tool called Perplexity. Perplexity is my go-to tool for any research related. Perplexity has free and paid tier. Free tier is itself is way more powerful, wherein you ask it any questions. So instead of going to Google and searching, I always go to Perplexity and search. So what it will do is, again, let's just take the war as an example. When is war gonna stop? If you go to Google and search, it will give you a list of 20 different website articles on when war is gonna stop on 20 different perspectives. But what Perplexity does is, it will give you a powerful how do I put it, amalgamated view of all those 20 websites into a single digestible format in such a way that it'll take the gist of everything. It'll even do fact checking that maybe 5 articles have mentioned some things and 2 articles have mentioned something else. It'll take the 5 article things and it will crunch everything together into a same interface, and it will give you a powerful output also. So that's what Perplexity does. And the GenSpark, the tool that I'm currently giving you this presentation from, this entire presentation is built by GenSpark. You have to give it proper prompting, but if you give proper prompting within a span of 20 to 25 minutes, it will generate the entire end-to-end presentation. And Perplexity's Perplexity has also brought in another product called Comet Browser, which is an end-to-end browser automation. Takes a lot of time to talk about that, but put it simply, you can just open any kind of spreadsheet. For example, yeah, you can just take spreadsheet, for example, and say, I want you to go to all these, URLs and apply for the jobs on my behalf. And when someone asks, the PDFs or something, you can upload the PDF. So basically, it is end-to-end browser automation. It does whatever you do within this browser, it has the power to do. It can go, it can click, it can even, I can even say go to the mem and look at certain things and then populate my LinkedIn outbound response. It will basically go ahead and do that also. That's the Comet browser. And Canvas, the deck builder. Suno and 11 Labs have kind of touch based on, and I'm already skipping over it. Another very interesting development in GenAI is this tool called HeyGen and Synthesia. It's AI avatar generator. So think of it like your face, your body, your everything, but it's not you talking. So just one 5-minute video of yourself you have to upload with all your hand movements and face movements, etc. And that's it. Then you can upload any script in any languages. It will basically talk about that, and your lip movements will also be modulated accordingly. Very powerful AI avatar creator agents, HeyGen and Synthesia. And I think I would basically stop there. I just want to spend some time on asking the Q&A, so I'll just stop there. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a few.
Yeah.
One minute. Just made a note of it. So you, 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Vipin, you mentioned about various tools like Jasper,
Mhm.
Midjourney, Dolly, Perplexity, and so there are lots of tools available. I just would like to know, like, know which are those top 3 or 5 tools, which would be best suited for, like, say, content design, productivity. So we see a lot of companies implementing AI to improve their productivity. So
Mm.
which one of them could be from your experience, which could be few of the best tools available? It could be the free resources as well as the paid one.
Understood. So the best LLM is Claude, hands on. I mean,
Yeah.
hands down, that is the best. Then, when it comes to content creation, GenSpark, that I just taught, the whole deck that I was built and I gave you the presentation on. GenSpark is the best PowerPoint presentation builder. It will do in-depth research as well as it will generate the PowerPoint presentation. And of course, there is no watermark and all those things, so you don't have to worry about that also. Then, when it comes to research, Perplexity. So this itself is my list of things. I use Claude the most, and then I use GenSpark for any content related. I use Perplexity for any kind of research. Even though the only now I only go to Google for searching IPL scores. Other than that, literally everything else, just the scores. Everything else I use Perplexity. Other than that, maybe Canva is something that I do for a little bit of content editing. And then Notebook LM is also another powerful tool. And another tool that I use on a daily basis is Comet browser. So Comet is a very powerful AI browser which can do anything that you want end to end from a browser perspective. You can just give it a task saying, just go to 100 LinkedIn folks that are relevant to me and send them a connection request. And then you can go have a coffee and come back. The connection request will already be sent from your LinkedIn. That's like very powerful.
Okay, okay. One more thing, like, since you said that AI is not ChatGPT,
Mhm.
but since I think they were one of the first movers, at least the adoption point of view from a regular student to anybody, a
Yep.
housewife, to anybody working. So ChatGPT is something they definitely use. I have a couple of questions. The one which you touched upon during the session where um, you said where if we don't want ChatGPT to use our content in its research, I guess, to learn.
Mm.
I think you touched upon that. I don't know whether a lot of people would be aware of that if that was the option.
Mm.
That was one of the things I just wanted to highlight it with. Thanks for making that. And second is, in ChatGPT itself, there are so many options. A lot of us have not explored that at all. There are
Mm.
GPTs and various few things. You shared few, but personally, I would like to know the GPTs. How yeah, I have the very basic version of paid version of ChatGPT. How do we use it? Effectively more.
Understood. So GPTs are nothing but, so I mentioned prompt engineering, right? So you have raw chat GPT and you're giving it a prompt saying, think from this perspective, this is the context, this is the role. GPTs already have done that job for you. So this is chat GPT layer. On top of that, specific prompts and trainings is already given. Think of it like, the let's say, for example, for becoming a doctor, you do that medical course, right? That's basically it. The generic chat GPT remains the same. All of us studies from 0 to 12 the same, but the medical course is that GPT. So every GPT is trained on that specific thing itself. LinkedIn viral post GPT is one GPT which gives you an output in LinkedIn viral post format. It's basically ChatGPT itself. You can get the same output from ChatGPT, but you don't know how to tell ChatGPT to actually get that output. So that's when you go to GPT. Anything that you want under the sun, you will find there in the GPT section.
Okay, okay. One final question I have. So you showed, in terms of, I think it was on Claude, that how do you, if I have to search for a job, so there's a prompt you gave, and it gave the list of the active jobs available. So we work with a lot of companies, where they do a lot of training. We do a lot of training on sales. So now with AI adoption and increasing the productivity point of view, so is there a possibility people do a lot of prospecting? So the same thing can be applied, and we would be able to get the similar results from a prospecting point of view. So which would be the industry, which are the kind of clients, who would be the right point of contact, so on and so forth.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So what I have already done from my company is, yeah, I think I can say my companies have connected my companies Zoom Info and Apollo.ai. So from a sales perspective, Zoom Info gives you B2B market intelligence. Apollo gives you again contact information, etc. Within Claude itself, I have connected these connectors in such a way that it will go into my Zoom Info, get the relevant information and give it to me. I don't have to manually go into Zoom Info and find, let's say I have 10 companies, I need 10 companies decision maker. The only option for me is going into Zoom Info manually, either doing the filter or etc. etc. Now I can just tell Claude, hey Claude, this is what I want, and connect it to my Zoom Info. It will actually go there. It will give me a powerful Excel with any detail. I can go back to it and say, this is great. Now for all this LinkedIn, go and connect to the people, etc. You add, so you take this Excel sheet that you have with everyone's LinkedIn, put it in Comet. So just open it in Comet browser and say, hi Comet, connect to all these people and send them a first email saying, hey, great to connect. I'd like, I know you're exploring something. Let's connect. So here, what you have done is you have initially 2 to 3 hours you have saved on this thing, and the next prospecting, etc. You are outsourcing it to Comment. So within your 10 minutes, the 5 to 8 minutes of work has all 5 to 8 hours of work is already done with just adding these two tools together. So that's how you use it. You have to do it pairing with multiple other tools as well. Yes.
Okay, great, great. And one final question to end.
Yeah.
So, I just want to know, from a leadership perspective, how do we prevent, teams from
Mhm.
over relying on AI and still maintain critical thinking? So, because
Yeah.
this is something, I feel it's very important in the current situation.
Understood. So, on contrary, many big companies are actually incentivizing people to use more AI, like
Oh.
Nvidia's head, and then I saw one more head who they what they're doing is they're giving their half a year's salary as Claude credits, so that the more Claude credits you want to spend, the more it is. So basically, it's not the we have to move away from the mindset that using AI is bad or taboo or something like that, but to move towards the perspective that so I am doing sales and I can bring in 10 prospects in 1 month, basically speaking. But right now I can bring in 20 powerful, more awesome prospects in the same 1 month, essentially speaking. So we have to become an AI augmented leader while using these AI tools, but The flip side is you have to be very careful. Prompting is what you have to be very careful on. The
Yeah.
quality of the output is what you have to be careful on. And also, like Amazon recently, there was a major crash happened in Amazon because the developers used Claude to build some code which didn't work in the main Amazon server. So there are negatives and pitfalls as well. So yes, guardrails should be kept in place in
Got it.
such a way that these are the things that should be done. These are things that should not be done using AI.
Great, great, great. I think that's it from me. And thank you, Vipin, for taking time out as always. So,
Yeah.
and doing this session for us. I'm sure everyone who have connected on LinkedIn Live will agree that the conversation today helped simplify the AI landscape and, more importantly, showed how we could apply these tools meaningfully in our day-to-day work. So the key takeaway is that what I understand is the AI adoption is no longer just about knowing tools. It's also about understanding where they fit into business workflows, communication, decision making, and execution. So at Skillmay, we continue to work with organizations on helping leaders and team build practical AI capability through hands-on and business-focused interventions. So thank you once again all to all the participants for joining us today and making the session no, interesting. So have a great evening ahead, everybody, and thank you again very much.
Thanks, Patel. Take care.
Thank you. Good day.